Hello once again and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you enjoy what you see and if you want us to continue seeing more. Coming up in this episode, confirmed is Alvaro's departure from Toulouse while 4 have come into the club. Why your CEO scuppers any talk of Williams leaving for the NRL. And Dutton talks for a push on the international calendar for international games. So Toulouse Olympic is where we start, and they have lit the fuse on their 2023 campaign with 3 new signings. Fiery forward Sitaleki Akauola, and as well as former and Newcastle Thunder halfback Joel Shorrocks, an Australian centre, and also Cook Islands international Ruben Rennie have all agreed 2-year deals at the Stade Ernest Wellon. The 3 names will be a major boost for the Olympians' bid to return to Super League, with more recruits expected to be announced soon, following the departures of several senior players since relegation from the top flight. Club Chief Executive Cedric Garcia told Catalan's media the disappointment is going down is behind us, and we decided that we are looking at a new cycle, a new chapter at the club. These signings following the acquisition of Callum Gain last week are a part of that new chapter. 27-year-old Jake Shorrocks started his rugby league career with Wigan Warriors in 2015, playing 29 games, scoring 2 tries and kicking 8 goals. But loans in 2015 to Warrington, 2016 Swinton Lions, and 2018 to Salford Red Devils, as well as 2019 again to Swinton Lions, saw him leave the club for Newcastle Thunder in 2021, where he played 1 season, scoring 3 tries and kicking 13 goals from his 23 appearances. While Cook Islands centre Rennie has played at Newtown Jets on 2 during his time in Rugby League, as well as a small stint at the Mount Pritchard Mounties before his move on to Toulouse, and has been an active member of the Cook Islands squad since 2016, playing 7 games and scoring 3 tries. He played for the Melbourne Storm Cronulla Sharks joint team in 2014, before moving to the Canterbury Bulldogs in 2015 and 2016. Again, a 27-year-old looking to get back onto a rugby league path at the higher levels. Garcia said that there was a confident mood of optimism at the club following last week's first session of pre-season training. He added, "It took us 10 years to get to Super League for a number of reasons. We couldn't stay there, but the mood of the coaching staff and the players is positive and enthusiastic for the new season. There will be 19 players in the squad at the moment, there are even, and we are aiming for 23 full-time players. And we will add 6 or 7 from our reserves. We have some really good young talent. We have had a large turnover for several reasons, but there were some things we did this year that we didn't like, and we had to make major changes. Events beyond our control really shook us and took us away from our philosophy and the way we wanted to play. This new cycle gives us a chance to get back to our core values, and things are being put into place with other recruits will come alongside the retention of Ollie Asher-Bott, Latrell Shumkel and Dom Peru, and the other senior quality players who believe in what we're trying to do." Garcia revealed that the latest player to leave the club will be 29-year-old Australian prop forward Daniel Alvaro, who was drafted in mid-season earlier this year and proved a real big success with several man-of-the-match performances to his name during this spell. Garcia confirmed, unfortunately, Daniel will not be going home to Australia for family reasons. We would have liked him to stay. He has been fantastic for us, but it's not to be, and we wish him all the best. Next, we turn to George Williams, as there have been numerous rumours and overtures, according to reports down under, to bring the England international halfback back to the NRL for the 2023 season. This has led Warrington Wolves chief executive Karl Fitzpatrick to break his silence on the reported interest in his star halfback Williams. Williams, courtesy of a superb World Cup with England, has been attracting suitors from down under from numerous NRL clubs who are currently struggling to find playmakers. However, the 28-year-old will not be leaving Warrington, with Fitzpatrick sending out a stern message in response to a potential speculation. George still has 2 years left on his contract with Warrington. End of story, Fitzpatrick told the Mole at Worldwide of Sport. You don't sell your best players, and we're happy with George. And he is happy with us, so he's staying right here. While his 2022 campaign with Warrington Wolves hasn't been as stellar as he would have hoped, with the club finished second bottom, only just being beaten to relegation by Toulouse, Williams helped England reach the semi-finals of the World Cup, where they eventually succumbed to defeat at the hands of Samoa. But his performances in particular have increased calls for him to be given the England captaincy by Shaun Wane ahead of the next World Cup in 2025. On the back of such good form, Warrington boss Darryl Powell will be hoping for more of the same when going into the 2023 Super League season after the disappointing 22 season. So, what would NRL clubs have to do to pry him away from Warrington? Well, it's his fee in this point. He's got 2 years on his contract, then pay the contract equivalent or more to Williams. So at this point, I don't think many clubs will do that, as it's still part free agent trade time at this point. Halfbacks are a commodity that everyone wants, and the better they are, the better the team are. Case in point, Penrith Panthers, Nathan Cleary, Mitchell Moses at Parramatta Eels. They reached the NRL Grand Final. Canberra Raiders were clicking with Williams as well, but I don't think they're one of the clubs that he'd go back to due to the acrimonious split that the two had before his move to Warrington. Of course, Williams enjoyed a stellar first season in the prize Australian competition with the Canberra Raiders before the COVID-19 pandemic struck. That led to Warrington chasing his signature and bringing him back to the Hallowells Jones Stadium on a 4-year deal. Being just 2 years into a 4-year deal would mean that any NRL club would have to pay a fee to secure Williams' status, but News Corp believes that West Tigers, who are also interested in bringing Williams' fellow countryman John Bateman back to the NRL, and Canterbury Bulldogs could be interested in the signing of the Warrington and England halfback. With the finances on offer in the NRL, it's always going to be a head turner for any rugby league player. Whether Warrington's contracts is low enough for Williams to consider that, I seriously doubt. They moved heaven and earth to bring Williams, as he had the choice to go back to Wigan, his club previous to his move to the NRL, as they had the first option if he decided to come back home, but instead he chose Warrington. There's a potential there with the club, but they've had a coach change since. Anyway, you tell me in the comment section below what your thoughts are of all this. Does Williams deserve a second chance in the NRL? And we finish by going back to the World Cup Chief Executive John Dutton, as he has called for an urgent implementation of a proper international calendar to be made on the back of this year's tournament. After 5 weeks and 61 matches across men's, women's and wheelchair tournaments, the 2021 World Cup reached its conclusion last Saturday. There was 67,502 inside Old Trafford, and predictably, double triumph for Australia's all-conquering Kangaroos and Jillaroos. Apart from the men's international between England and France in April, it's unknown when the next international rugby league matches are for the most of the nations who have competed in the World Cup. International Rugby League, the organisation responsible for running the global game, is hoping to finalise a calendar in December. However, it means that the going has been a little bit frustrating by difficult negotiations being conducted down under by the Players' Union and the Australian Rugby League Commission. I understand it's complicated, but something has to change, said Dutton regarding the international schedule. I think it's going to take some bravery, some boldness, and some vision, but all components are there. There is exponential growth in International Rugby League in the totality, and I don't think the focus should solely be on the men's game. The women's, wheelchair, and PDRL games can take the sport to new heights alongside the men. As you see, in 2 days, the South American Rugby League Championships kicks off as the 3 teams go to Jericho, Colombia, the host nation, who will be joined by Brazil and Chile in the South American Championships. It acts as the first round of continental qualifying for 2025's World Cup. Similar tournaments have taken place already in Bodrum, Turkey, and the Ghanaian capital of Accra, where Nigeria came out as victors. One of the forces behind the growth of South American Rugby League, Robert Bergen, the writer and also head of Brazilian Rugby League, who is stepping down soon, said this on Twitter today. Straight off a 4-hour train ride and then 3 flights to get to Colombia for a 5-hour bus to Jericho, interrupted by landslides. Here is the South American Rugby League Championships. Bus had players and officials from 7 nationalities, and all mixing and helping each other. Sport is great. These nations may be a world away from matching Australian might in rugby league, which was underscored by the women's 54 points to 4 final victory over their closest rivals New Zealand, before the stage was set for Meninga's men to wrap up their 3rd straight title. Yet, from Jamaica's debut culminating in the scene surrounding their first try from Ben Jones Bishop against New Zealand to Brazil's engaging Amazonians, the tournament served to underscore the enormous untapped potential of the international game. Greece on the men's side, plus America and Spain in the wheelchair tournament, and also made their representative debuts in the World Cup. Dutton is optimistic all 5 nations can build on their initial forays. I've sat down with Jermaine Coleman and had a long conversation about Jamaica's journey, he said. Jamaica have such a chance because their development and growth in Kingston already. Romeo Monteith has done such good work there. In Greece, we know through the work done with their government, with the team going to Athens, has created visibility for them. Brazil is more complicated because of the size of the country, but what it's done is creating an appetite for growth. He continued with the glowing positivity. With the USA and Spain wheelchair teams, you're seeing new nations who in the men's running game might never get to the latter stages of a World Cup. But the USA in particular, with the athletes they have at their disposal even, it may be possible that one day they could lift the Rugby League World Cup. I think that's brilliant. Another fan that of the positives of International Rugby League, not to say part of his job, was due to the bolstered strong television viewing figures and Meninga, who is one of the most persuasive of promoters, there appears to be genuine intent among many in the sports power brokers in sustaining the future of the international sport. And after his side's victory over Samoa in the final 30 points to 10, Meninga said, "I'm in a position where I can say this because I am the coach of a World Cup winner, but I thought the whole tournament was an excellent showpiece and just shows where the international game is going. Having Samoa in there is great for international game. I'm looking forward to the decision makers making their next decision about where the game is going. I am a great supporter of Rugby League and I want to see it prosper in a way that delivers for everyone. Of course, there's always going to be little nitpicky parts that Rugby League has forgotten to do during a Rugby League World Cup like this, or their tournament itself having a little few problems, but that's with every tournament. We're seeing it in the soccer one, the first game for England, 10-minute delay because the app crashed and not recognising tickets. That was in a stadium that wasn't 3/4 full. So everyone was going to be a bit over the top when it comes to issues with systems and things like that and processes that World Cups have put in place. It's all about fine-tuning, and it's all about playing more internationals and tournaments with international teams so that we can get these fixes out of the way. It's been 5 years since the last World Cup, and excuse me, there needs to be more. Good news that there's a talk about a European Championships up in the Northern Hemisphere. We just need a Pacific's in tournament, 8 teams. That'll be very, very competitive and will do a lot for growth in the Southern Hemisphere. At this moment in time though, England needs some competitors, so that's going to be a slower growth. So England will have to do tours against nations like Australia, New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga to grow the sport and use their nights for the European Championships. Play France, help them to grow. That's a good thing to do. But at this point, there's only one thing that I have an issue with the Rugby League World Cup. One thing. At the end or in between the men's and women's games, they should have done a handing over ceremony to the people like Mr. Lacoste over in France, because it's already confirmed that they are going to host the next World Cup in France. So a full handing over. They're responsible for the trophy. His Honourable Troy Grant, giving the trophy, giving a speech, and then either side giving a speech. A short one, saying congratulations to England, etc. from the French side, and good luck to France from the English side. What do you think? I can ramble on and on and on about this all day, so I'm going to leave it there. Tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode in the comment section below. I know the last piece went a bit long, but there is an appetite for growing International Rugby League, and I'm sure that you guys are exactly the same. Tell me in the comments below where you think this potential European Championship should be played. I think France. Help them get their systems in place. Help them getting their potential venues. Growth. The World Cup is coming here, but we're going to give you the European Championships first. Come down and watch us. Or should they go to another nation to help them grow? The qualification for the World Cup is also helping feed teams into that as well. Anyway, Thank you so much for watching. Comment section is open for business, but please be respectful. But in the meantime, please stay safe. I wish you all the best. Share this video worldwide. And I'll end the episode by saying bye for now.